Well, since our last quarterly update, nothing really has changed in the market. So what I want to point out today is really housing, which is a major part of a comprehensive financial plan that needs to be included, something called housing affordability and housing feasibility. I want to point out 90% of current homeowners financed their home some number of years ago at rates much lower than 6%. Now, if you're making a move now, those rates are going to be around 7%. So you're confronted with a much different financial landscape when purchasing a home now. So the need for interest rates are pretty significant because this is creating an interest rate mismatch. This is something Jerome Powell, our Federal Reserve Chair, has talked about in a recent article. Those sources are going to come up at the end of this video. But technically, nothing's changed except I want to point that out and how that's sort of causing a gridlock in housing. The Fed is very vague on rate cuts. We predicted in our last video we would see 3 this year and thought we might get one by June. But it's now been basically watered down to we'll get 3 quarter-point cuts totaling 3/4 of a point. That's 0.75%. Sometime later in the year. So the Federal Reserve is very vague. Now, what does that mean for my portfolio and my financial goals? Well, I mentioned that housing was a major component of that, and we have the tools to help you measure those things here at Cetera. But as far as the market goes, we live in a world where it's sort of a gumbo of economic data, just to put it in plain terms, where the words of Jensen Huang carry as much weight as Jerome Powell. And the market has performed quite strongly amidst strong jobs report, stubborn inflation, etc. So there's opportunities for you, the individual investor, to potentially take advantage of, and it's worth a conversation to make sure these strategies are appropriate for you. So we have to keep the conversation going as always. Next quarter, we're going to be talking about what the market does in an election year and what it does the year following an election. And just in case you might have forgotten, it is an election year. So let's keep in touch.